Your car starts to skid. Everything goes quiet. And somehow, in that half second before impact, you have time to think about your kids, your seatbelt, the exact color of the guardrail rushing toward you. It feels like minutes. It was less than a second. But the real answer for why this happens is far stranger than adrenaline makes things slow down. Your brain isn't actually slowing time. It's doing something closer to overclocking itself. And once you understand how, you'll never trust your own sense of time the same way again. Start with a simple question. What is a second, really? To you, it's not a fixed unit. It's a feeling. And that feeling is built entirely by your brain, after the fact. In 2007, neuroscientist David Eagleman ran an experiment that sounds like something out of a horror movie. He dropped volunteers from a 150-foot tower, backward, into a net. No warning. Real fear. Real free fall. Before the drop, each volunteer wore a device on their wrist called a perceptual chronometer, flashing numbers too fast for the eye to normally read. Eagleman's theory was simple. If time really does slow down during fear, people in free fall should be able to read the flickering numbers that were invisible to them on the ground. They couldn't. Every single participant reported that the fall felt like it took far longer than it did. But not one of them could read faster than normal. Their perception felt slower. Their processing speed hadn't actually changed. So what was happening? Eagleman's answer reframes the entire experience. Your brain isn't a camera filming reality in real time. It's more like an editor, assembling a story after the footage has already been shot. During a genuinely dangerous moment, a structure deep in your brain called the amygdala floods your system with activity. It doesn't speed up your thinking. It recruits a second memory system, one usually reserved for things that really matter, and it starts recording in far greater detail than usual. Normal memory is compressed. Efficient. Your brain throws away almost everything that happens to you, keeping only the outline. But under threat, it switches into a denser recording mode. More detail per second. More frames per moment. Here's the twist. You don't experience that density during the event. You experience it afterward, when your brain plays the memory back. A memory with 3 times the normal detail feels, when replayed, like it must have taken 3 times as long to happen. Your brain judges duration not by a clock, but by how much information it has to sort through. Dense memory equals long time. Even though the event itself lasted exactly as long as it would have anyway. Think about the last time you drove a completely new route somewhere. The trip there felt long. Strange streets, new turns, unfamiliar signs, all of it packed into memory at high resolution. The trip home, same distance, same minutes on the clock, felt like nothing. Familiar roads don't need dense recording. Your brain already has the file. Fear does the same thing your unfamiliar route did, except with far higher stakes and far more urgency. And this isn't a modern glitch. It's an old survival tool. Psychologist William James was already describing distorted time perception under intense emotion back in the 1890s, decades before anyone could scan a living brain. He noticed that people in danger, or in states of extreme emotional intensity, consistently reported time crawling. He didn't have the neuroscience to explain why. He just knew the pattern was real, and old, and universal. Modern research has only sharpened the picture. A study led by psychologist Jess Stetson, working alongside Eagleman, confirmed that this dilation effect appears specifically tied to memory density rather than any actual change in real-time cognitive speed. Your reflexes might genuinely get faster under a stress response. Your reaction time can improve. But your perception of time passing, the felt experience of duration, is constructed entirely in hindsight. Why would evolution build something this elaborate? Because for almost all of human history, the moments that mattered most were the moments that could kill you. A predator emerging from tall grass. A cliff edge giving way. A rival tribe closing in. Every detail in those seconds could be the difference between surviving and becoming a lesson for someone else's story. A brain that recorded those moments in extreme detail, and could replay them with total clarity later, had an enormous advantage. It could learn faster from a single brush with death than from 100 ordinary days. That ancient wiring is still fully installed inside you. It doesn't know the difference between a saber-toothed cat and a car accident on a wet highway. It just knows, this matters, record everything. And that's why the moment stays with you long after it ends. Survivors of accidents, assaults, and near misses often describe the event in impossible detail years later, sometimes decades later, while forgetting entire ordinary weeks around the same period. The danger didn't just feel longer. It was filed away differently, permanently, at a resolution nothing else in your life gets. So the next time your heart drops, the room goes quiet, and a second stretches out like it's never going to end, you'll know what's actually happening. Your brain hasn't slowed the world down around you. It's speeding up its own recorder, building a memory so dense that your future self will feel like it lasted forever.